matter of 5 missing engineers in Ebonyi State, which we captioned "Setting the Record Straight." Gentlemen of the press, members of the public, it has become imperative to put the record straight on allegations and misrepresentation of facts conveyed to the public from certain quarters over the unfortunate incident that befell Engineer Nelson Onyeme of Nelan Consulting Firm and other 4 engineers whose services we suppose were hired by Nelan Company to work in the phase 2 of the African Development Bank sponsored section of Abakaliki Ring Road project, since they came not on our list. Based on the police investigation report on the incident, we view as disheartening the unfortunate circumstances that led to the sad news. We therefore extend our heartfelt condolences to all the families and the Nelan Company for this dastardly act by criminal elements, while hoping for a comprehensive crackdown on perpetrators. However, we are constrained to correct certain impressions contained in the information dished out to the public by Mrs. Nelson Onyeme, as we know that she spoke out of emotions, and we believe that some politicians have taken advantage of her state of mind. Otherwise, there were things that she said against the state government that were necessarily misleading. We therefore cannot join issues with her. We are also compelled to set the record straight on the utterances of one of the engineers of Nelan Company, Mr. Benjamin, who speaks from both sides of the mouth, telling the state government one thing and telling the public another thing, and who is extremely economical with the truth about our contractual relations with the Nelan Company. Contrary to the insinuations contained in the interview granted with Arise Television by Engineer Benjamin Nzagu, that is his full name, on the status of the Ring Road project vis-a-vis Nelan Consulting Firm, Abakaliki Ring Road is a project of Ebonyi State government funded through a repayable loan from African Development Bank and not a grant. And so the services of Nelan Consulting Firm were hired by Ebonyi State government through international bidding processes. As the employer, we are aware that during the tenders, Nelan Consulting Firm offered the lowest cost, and we insisted that because of paucity of funds, the company should be allowed as the lowest bidder to do the job, bearing in mind that the company is not the original designer, but was drafted to review the design and supervise the job. The contract agreement is very clear about what constitutes a breach, but we will not take offense by his unguided utterances, which runs contrary to the provisions of some clauses in the contract agreement because of the mood of the moment. But that has not derogated the powers of Ebonyi State government as the employer of Nelan Consulting Firm to determine their services for breach of the confidentiality of the contract. It is noteworthy to mention that there are 2 sections of this job, one of which is handled diligently by another consulting firm, and they have never raised issues of interferences or altercations. And so the utterances of Mr. Benjamin are deliberately sensational and malicious and mischievously calculated to attack the integrity of the state government. Where it is not utterly factual, it is obviously fictitious. Ebonyi State government as an employer does not need extraneous assistance to determine the contract when it is not performing. And our government cannot be blackmailed to give up its monitoring powers. And that has been the secret of the fiscal performance and developmental hallmarks recorded by our administration. For the records, Ebonyi State government and the personnel executing the contract job were never contacted or informed about the coming of the officials of Nelan consulting firm on the fateful day. The state government had a meeting with all companies and contractors involved in the Abakaliki Ring Road over the security situation in a few points within the project locations. Nelan consulting firm is merely a supervising firm whose job supervision commitment was going to be 8 days per month in the whole of 24 months project duration. The resident engineer, who is also the main contractor, being supervised by Nelan consulting firm, has never shown presence till this moment. All we gather from security report after the ugly incident was that it was the contractor, Marco Nigeria Limited, that had contacted Mr. Nelson Onyeme to go to site on that fateful day. Furthermore, the immediate report from the divisional police office in charge of the area where the job is situated, and the statement volunteered to the police by the representative of Marco Nigeria Limited, indicate that all agreed to meet at Ohaku Local Government Area Police Headquarters so as to get the police personnel to go with them to the site. But Nelan officials did not avail. Let it further be noted that the Ebonyi State government, presided over by our dear governor, His Excellency Engineer Chief David Nwezomahi, had diligently met with all the contractors, the consultants, and stakeholders from the project locations, especially the flashpoints, where it was agreed that before any contractor moves to project site, that the community leaders, traditional rulers, town union presidents, together with the government official from such area, must swear affidavit, committing to the protection of the contractors and consultants. The commitment was consummated in the first session of the project site, where the other consulting firm is supervising. It will be reiterated that the contractors for the project site to be supervised by Nelan consulting firm have not even mobilized to the site. The contractors merely got their award letters, and this buttresses the fact that the allegation that the Nelan team was coming in and going out of the project site and there was no crisis is a figment of the imagination of Mr. Benjamin. More so, as the period he was referring to was before the Fiam communal crisis, which started on January 22nd, 2021. The facts are therefore inviolably correct that it was agreed amongst themselves that the main contractor, Marco Limited, and the consultant, Nelson Onyeme, together with the divisional police officer in charge of the division, would get the police personnel to accompany them to the site. But for reasons best known to Mr. Nelson Onyeme, he chose not to pass through the police headquarters and the local government council, but rather went through a flashpoint from Mwezenyi axis and thus ran into the hotspot of the communal crisis, where, according to police investigation report, they were abducted. While it is not our duty to reel out the full details of the police report, the essence of this narrative is to put records straight and correct the impressions that may have been created by the misleading information shared in some quarters by mischief makers. It is therefore most unfortunate that people can politicize a very sensitively horrible situation such as this. It is heartbreaking and irreprehensible that instead of dissipating energies and resources in pursuing the cause of justice for the victims, the likes of Mr. Benjamin chose to divert attention by investing resources in media platforms to twist the matter for his personal aggrandizement. They even accused a sitting governor of having interest in one of the project vehicles. What an insult. The project vehicle was purchased with the resources of Ebonyi state government and not even the resources of African Development Bank or that of the consultant. For our contractual relations with Neyland Consulting Firm, we would allow some weeks for them to still sort their contractual problems out and go back to site. It is important that the issues be sorted out on time, and they should find a way to replace the resident engineer, though not among the missing engineers, it must be noted, who is skilled person from Neyland Consulting Firm, who is not yet on the job. Our administration will continue to keep faith with our social contract with the people, which is to ensure that the scarce resources are applied for the right cause of development. Thank you, and God bless you.